So glad you could join us today. I'm Carrie Patrick, your host for Eye on St. Lucie, a show that brings you into the folds of what is occurring in our schools. In this special edition, it is my pleasure to bring you two people with whom I've had the pleasure to work with from the Office of Teaching and Learning with information about a wonderful windfall that has come in the form of grants to this district. These grants hold the promise of a dramatic shift to arts education and a STEM-focused curriculum that expand and support students' opportunities to explore their college and career interests. Well, ladies, it's so nice to have you here today, and I know that our audience is very interested in finding out about this exciting new opportunity that we had. Quite unexpected. You know, whenever we do things in St. Lucie County, we try to go out and do it right the first time. And having this windfall of money in the grant for many of our schools is just incredible. And we're going to focus on a few of our schools first. But really, before we get into the nuts and bolts of what the grant offers, let's let our audience know a little bit about what the two of you do for our district, because you're so instrumental in helping us to move forward. So, Dr. Wild, let's hear from you first.
Well, thank you, Carrie. We appreciate being here today. I'm the Chief Academic Officer for St. Lucie Public Schools at this time, which involves overseeing the Office of Teaching and Learning. And within the Office of Teaching and Learning, we provide curriculum oversight and professional development for our teachers, as well as the Grants Management Department and federal programs. And so what we're here to talk about today actually combines all of those things: curriculum, professional development, and some very lucrative grants that we were lucky enough to apply for and receive on a competitive nature.
You mentioned competitive. This was not just a local or a state grant. Competitive meaning national level.
Yes, this is a U.S. DOE federal grant, actually two of them that we will speak of today. Very competitive. And this was our first go-around at applying for this grant, and we were thrilled to find out that we were one of the recipients. And it was very competitive, so we're really proud. And
the hats you wear are many. And Jane, the hats you wear are many, and you have just broadened the rim of, or the brim of the hat, because with this grant you're taking on some new roles.
I am very excited. Currently I serve as one of the curriculum coordinators, and I oversee curriculum design, teacher support, professional development as well, and really oversee the components of science, social studies / history, and the fine arts. So this is really exciting to be a part of what's coming up, you know, just around the corner with these grants, opening up opportunities for us to expand all of those areas. And especially with the change in my title is going to be becoming the magnet school coordinator. So I get the best of both worlds. So that's what's exciting about it. So not only overseeing the curriculum side of it and the teacher support side, but also getting to see the changes that come in these specific schools and the development throughout the district to make a difference.
And St. Lucie Public Schools has always prided itself on being very supportive of arts and education. In addition, as we have seen what is very important to students as we move from, you know, our early literacy efforts into college and career, knowing what the future holds and what our students need to be prepared for, those STEM-related fields are so very important: the science, the technology, the engineering, the mathematics. And as we look at that, we also know that the arts are very important. So we look at STEM, and then we look at how that rolls into STEAM.
Yes.
This just is one beautiful potpourri of science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics.
Right.
So let's really dive deep into what these two grants are. Dr. Wild?
Okay.
Take it away.
All right. I would love to. We're going to be talking mainly about what's called the Magnet School Assistance Program Grant. And we applied for that grant because our superintendent is very innovative, and he wanted to create very engaging schools that would really meet this need for our students to be prepared for their future, as you were just talking about. So if we can go ahead and look at the slides, the Magnet School Assistance Program Grant, we'll talk about it as the MSAP grant. was provided to districts and has been for a long time to provide academic excellence in schools and really to reduce minority group isolation within our schools. So we thought it was a great opportunity for some of our wonderful schools in St. Lucie County. And so we targeted 3, Fort Pierce Magnet School of the Arts, Fort Pierce Westwood High School, and Sam Gaines Academy. So we're really excited to tell you about the differences between the 3. This grant is really substantial. It's a $12.5 million grant over the next 5 years. And Jane will be very actively involved in overseeing the implementation of this whole plan. You mentioned STEAM, and we have really been focusing on what our students need to know in the future. Jobs are changing, opportunities for our students are changing drastically, and so we've designed these grants to help our students do that. Plus, it's very engaging for our students to have these exciting opportunities and new ways of learning. For Fort Pierce Magnet School of the Arts, that will be a revitalized magnet. So it will be brand new, and it will be a true school for the performing and the visual arts. That will be the theme. And there's a lot more to it than that as well. It will be a school-wide magnet for students that are interested in the arts. But it will also have a pre-collegiate academic program throughout, and it will also integrate those topics so that it is also a STEAM school. All of the resource classes that will be provided for the students will be aligned to those themes. There's some really special things about the school as well that were part of the grant. Jane, do you want to share a little bit about those?
I'll just highlight a few of them. The Community Cafe, we thought was, we're really excited about that. And this gives the kids an opportunity to perform for each other during the lunch hour. So it gives, we're going to have a stage, an opportunity. It could be instrumental. It could be doing a quick script, you know, a little reader's theater experience. But giving them the opportunity to perform for each other is just it's a great way to build the confidence. You know, if you can perform in front of your peers, you know, what a great experience that is. And then also looking at artists in residence. We're very excited about this. Actually, both of the grants that we're going to talk about today actually have this embedded in providing the opportunities for us to bring artists from not just visual artists, but also music professionals as well that will come in and provide professional development for our teachers, and then also work on the other side, specifically working with our students in bettering their performance. And then the Drum Up Club is one that I always get asked about because that's so unique. This will be completely unique to the Magnet School of the Arts. And this is a drumming club that will get to experience world drumming. And it's a really unique curriculum that we're very excited about implementing just at the Magnet School of the Arts.
Thank you, Jane. Moving on to Fort Pierce Westwood High School, that will become a STEAM magnet, and the names you see are temporary right now, just to get the concept across. But there will be 2 new academies there, the Academy of Science and Medicine and an Academy of Technology and Design. So that school is also already very rich in the area of science, so we're building upon that to really have a medical program. We know that's what our community needs in terms of training our students for future professions. And then a really heavy emphasis on technology to be in line with the science and technology, and actually all of those areas overlap. We're going to be preparing students for healthcare and science-related professions. We really want to focus on registered nurses, making sure that the students have not only the medical sequence of courses, but the really strong, rigorous math and science components that go with it through partnerships, preparing students to be physicians, pharmacists, and pharmacy tech will be part of it, and then building upon the already rich veterinary, agritechnology, and marine biologist preparation that's already occurring. In addition, we're adding a Microsoft Imagine Academy, which is going to prepare students to be infrastructure technology experts, to be data scientists, which is an up-and-coming hot field right now. All of our business partners are looking for data scientists, so we want to specifically train students for that field, as well as delving into cybersecurity, electronics, new media technology, and digital arts to bring in the A in STEAM. As you can see, we're going to be outfitting our science labs to be college level and professional level labs. We're going to have some high-tech programs with specific software and hardware that will be brought to the students of Fort Pierce Westwood through this grant. We're going to be working a lot on professional development with some innovative instructional practices, and all of it integrated with the STEAM theme, as mentioned. And a big component of this grant for high school is the strong partnerships that we will have with people in the field to help develop our students. We're going to be integrating augmented reality technology across these academies because it is the future of medical science. We're also working with Indian River State College and other colleges and universities, but specifically with Indian River State College because they have a renowned registered nursing program, and we want our students to be ready to go directly into that program when they graduate from Fort Pierce Westwood. And we are also developing career-focused mentoring opportunities. When students work through these programs, we want them to be able to make those contacts early as high school students and have mentors from their very specialized fields working directly with them. And that's just a slide to show augmented reality. We have a little bit of this in St. Lucie County. We're really going to expand upon it through this grant. And I mentioned augmented reality across different fields. Drone technology is similar in that it is hot in so many fields right now, so students won't be learning just what drone technology is, but how to use it across different career fields. Same with robotics, and we're going to be establishing some makerspace labs. A lot of people are not familiar with that concept, but makerspace labs allow students to explore and delve deeper, and it's really about inquiry and learning how things work. So embedded in makerspace are engineering skills, mathematical skills, and all of the STEM skills that we're trying to emphasize. And makerspace labs can be anywhere from kindergarten through college. So we've integrated it throughout this whole grant. This is just emphasizing the point that virtual and augmented reality and technology in general is the future of diagnosis and cures in the field of medicine. These are some of the exclusive mentoring opportunities that we've already established as part of this grant, and we will build upon this year after year. But we've established data scientist mentors from Black & Decker. Bosch is providing us with mentors and partnerships. We're involving leading physicians. And we're also exploring paid internships for the students at Fort Pierce Westwood when they reach the more advanced levels within their field. And I've mentioned already that Fort Pierce Westwood has a really strong science sequence of courses there already. I want to mention the Marine Oceanographic Academy because that is still thriving with our partnership at Florida Atlantic University and Harbor Branch. And we will be inviting students to apply for that program once again, coming into 9th grade. And we really want that to become part of the whole magnet concept. And then the last school to cover is Sam Gaines Academy, which will be a STEM magnet for students in grades K through 8. All of the resource classes, again, will be aligned to that STEM theme. The grant will allow us to add new elective courses and new programs to offer to the students. It will all be about inquiry-based learning. It will integrate a flexible learning environment, and it will build a foundation for those skills we were just talking about before our students go on to Westwood or wherever they go after they leave 8th grade. 3 very specialized resource classes that will start there. One will be about STEM explorations. It'll have a heavy emphasis on medicine, mind, body, health, and wellness, integrating chemistry skills at a very young age, and human physiology. There'll be an innovation lab, which will include all of that STEM content that we were talking about in robotics, with a heavy emphasis on coding. There's a lot going on right now about coding, but students can start learning that at a very young age, and then move progressively up into more rigorous content when they get to 8th grade. And we're also adding a Project Lead the Way, actually 2 Project Lead the Way programs at Sam Gaines, and one of them will be focused on veterinary medicine, which will feed nicely into all of the medical programs at Fort Pierce Westwood. We will be utilizing some really innovative tools like STEM scopes and Z-Space, which is that augmented reality. And we'll be developing design challenges for the students at Sam Gaines Academy. All 3 of these magnet schools will have that pre-collegiate or that college-level curriculum. New to the 3 schools, we are working with Cambridge, which is the University of Cambridge, to add the Advanced ACE program at Fort Pierce Westwood to provide students with college-level coursework and credit. And new to St. Lucie County entirely is the Cambridge Primary program, which will be at both Sam Gaines Academy and Fort Pierce Magnet School, which provides students with that pre-collegiate international curriculum with a heavy focus on science for us. And then in middle school, we will also be doing the College Board curriculum, Springboard, to get the students ready for AP, for dual enrollment, and for ACE. I've been emphasizing all of these really special components that will be at all 3 schools. A theme throughout is a commitment to personalizing the learning for students. It'll be very student-centered. We've come on the show before to talk about Naviance, which is our portfolio that follows students in grades 6 through 12 in St. Lucie County. The students at these schools will be lucky enough to start that Naviance portfolio in elementary school and have it follow them all the way up. There'll be flexible classrooms. There'll be an increased choice of electives for the students made possible through the grant. And all of them will also focus on leadership and character development across all grade levels, all students. Mentioning these opportunities are made available because of that windfall, as you called it, of funds that will allow us to retrofit the labs that are already there, bring in that college level material, bring in what we need for makerspace, and actually more resources for the library and so forth. It'll allow us to do the startup money to start those new pre-collegiate and college level programs, and expand professional development opportunities for teachers, and experiences also for engaging parents. We're going to be bringing parents in so that they understand what these programs have to offer. We will also be marketing the schools and marketing these programs so that students and parents know what they're applying to be a part of. We're also working to label the students or rebrand, not the students, the schools, rebrand the schools with names that will let people know what they are all about. And for student enrollment, we want people to understand this isn't an academic competition to get into the schools. It is all about building on student interest and commitments. We want students to apply for these schools because they're interested in these areas of science, technology, engineering, and math, or specifically for performing and visual arts. It will be a lottery system of entry without any type of entry criteria. I mentioned that we have strong community collaborators. They worked with us initially on the grant, so we just want to recognize and thank all of our partners that worked with us. And that's the overview.
That was quite an overview. I thank you so much. So just in a very, very concise manner, we have Fort Pierce Magnet School of the Arts. We'll see that it is the name itself shares that it's a performing arts school, but really diving deep to make it a true performing and visual arts school with all of those components that you mentioned. Very exciting. Samuel Gaines Academy, a STEM magnet with the rigorous academics as well, and Fort Pierce Westwood High School, a STEAM magnet, bringing in the highlights of the Academy of Science and Medicine as well as the Academy of Technology and Design. Again, complementing it with those rigorous academics, and the professional development complement with the other grant is, just a real perk. So the thing I think that is very, very positive, we have great academies throughout the district, and students have the opportunity today to do so much more than we as students had the opportunity to do. They're in aeronautics classes, they're in marine and oceanography classes, far beyond the home ec, that students of yesteryear did. But what's even more vital in what you're sharing is that this starts at such an early age. The ability to think analytically, the ability to tinker in maker spaces, the ability to explore things, not just at the middle school level, but you're now saying that some of the opportunities go beyond that into an elementary. Because you don't all of a sudden enter high school and have the opportunity to think analytically. So this is tremendous. This is truly a valuable asset to our students in St. Lucie County. So yes, it's a windfall monetarily and intellectually for our children.
Absolutely.
So congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you.
Exciting.
So with that, you touched upon enrollment, but I know people are going to be listening to this show and they're going to clamor for the opportunity for their children to be involved. What would you say to somebody that wants to know right now, how do I get my child involved? What do you say?
I would say a couple things. We're going to be communicating both with the student population entirely in St. Lucie Public Schools, but first specifically with the students that already attend these 3 schools. It'll look a little different for each of the 3 schools, but they'll get a letter explaining the process and how they can be engaged. Our intent is that every student at all 3 schools will be touched by this Magnet School grant and be part of a school-wide magnet. But the process and the timeline varies because of high school goes first. So there'll be information coming out to our high school students first about how to apply. And that'll be through our student assignment office. Michelle Jerger was actually very active in writing these grants, so she'll be a big part of getting the word out. We will also have an outreach specialist that'll be setting up opportunities for parents to come learn all about it as we get closer to the start of the next school year. So that's in the works. And people will start to see more about it and get very specific information. So it's a little early to do it yet, so I would just say wait for more information to come. It will be coming out strong. And if you do have any questions in the meantime, you could call either of us, Jane Whitaker or myself, for information in the meantime.
Okay. It's kind of like anything else, a parent knows their child the best, and we all want to find the right fit for our child, and this is just another testament to, you mentioned we have a very innovative superintendent, and one of the hallmarks of his superintendency is the fact that he's working very diligently to make certain that every single school in St. Lucie County is a very, very quality school, one that is steeped in making certain that it offers great things for all children. And as a parent, we know what our children's needs are, and we must, work diligently to do our research and come to the opportunities that are available to learn about the different schools and the programs that are there. So much to learn about, so much to discover and find the right fit for our child, and we've got professional development that is continually being offered so that we can continue to see what's out there. And I think that you've got another grant on the table too that can help bring that one to life. So is there something else that maybe you can tell us with the...
We have the professional development for art educators, and we just received that grant shortly, just about the same window as the MSAP one.
Okay.
So this is a grant that provides support for our teachers and really becoming deeper in their expertise, bringing that level of expertise to their content area. And it's a $1.4 million grant. So this, in conjunction with the MSAP grant, is just, the possibilities are endless. And just the growth of our students and the growth of our teachers is just, it's exciting.
But and there's professional development dollars in the other
MSAP
grant too.
grant as well, yeah.
So while we've got the professional development dollars and the program focus for those 3 schools, then the other grant spans every single school in the district. So
correct. So it hits up the MSAP grant hits every component, every content, curriculum imaginable. And then your PDAE focuses more on the visual and performing arts. So being able to provide across district-wide is going to be amazing.
And then the collaboration,
correct,
as we share ideas back and forth.
Yeah. And building that community partnership is a huge component of both of these grants, and being able to work diligently with the partners that Helen has mentioned. We're really looking forward to the opportunities it's going to bring to our students and our teachers alike.
For the performing arts grants, one of the things that you sort of gave me the idea of, one of the things that we're excited about is that sometimes there's only one teacher of a particular specific field within the arts, one band director at a school, or one chorus teacher. This will allow us to build a community across schools for those teachers to share and learn together in ways that we haven't always been able to do in the past. So we're really excited about that, spreading it out and letting them share and learn together, bring artists in to work with them, and that will impact every student in St. Lucie County.
Well, you've certainly brought a wealth of information to the table and a wealth of grant dollars to the county. Is there anything that perhaps you haven't shared that you would like to leave our audience with?
The only thing that I would like to add, because I realized I did not mention that transportation will be provided for students. So this opportunity is not just for those that live near the schools, but it is countywide. So, you know, if you're interested in STEM or performing arts, keep that in mind for yourself or your children, as this is really exciting times in St. Lucie Public Schools.
Well, I have a very strong feeling that this is not the last that we will hear from you all about this this information. So I look forward to perhaps the next time you will be on Eye on St. Lucie, ladies, and I'm sure our audience does as well. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. We look forward to it.
Okay. I'm Carrie Padrick, and this is WLX TV. On behalf of the station's team, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. That's it for this show, but we invite you to follow us, like us, and watch us on our social media outlets. And as always, keep your eye on St. Lucie.